So recently I've been watching Iman Gadzhi a lot. What really got me into Iman Gadzhi was this one event he hosted not long ago in July, talking about service-based businesses and what was the best business model out of the four he presented in the entire event. Um, Obviously he said service-based businesses, which was the businesses he used to propel his income and his net worth. He started a social media agency around 15, 16, which propelled him to a huge new level of income that he's never seen in his entire life. And he was a millionaire pretty much at 18. Um, but we're not getting into that. We're getting into his new event that he called the Digital Renaissance. If you haven't seen it, I think you should. I think it's a really well put together event. But I think a lot of people are overseeing what he was actually trying to do in this event. Um, I'll give a very quick recap of each episode. Right now, episode 1 was talking about the collapse of the economy and how it's about to collapse. Talked about debt and how he called the puppet masters, the people in black suits who come to the table. How they use debt to control you and how they use the 9 to 5 to control you. And he talked about being the new Renaissance man. And if you don't know what the Renaissance is, I'm not going to go into it. But if you know about history, you can see Renaissance, the real Renaissance, and the new digital Renaissance. They correlate pretty well together. There's a lot of similarities. Episode 2 talks about how some men play by different rules. And he gave 5 traits that he said that you need to have to be a Renaissance man. The 5 were knowledge, business, community, accountability, and self-improvement. Episode 3 was a recap of the first 2 episodes, and then he goes into selling his course, which I'll talk about in a little bit. Episode 4, I didn't really see episode 4 from what the little bits I've seen. It looks like an overall recap. If I'm wrong, please correct me. So what I want to talk about is I think this entire I'm gonna talk about episode 3 where he promotes his course, Grow Your Agency. And I think this entire event is just really just a marketing scheme to promote his online course about marketing agencies and how you can scale them. And it's a really well put together scheme, in my opinion. I think this is what I think personally. I don't know. I could be wrong completely, but I think it's just a well put together scheme that he's doing. Very, very, very good marketing tactics. He's a very good marketer. From what I can see, I mean, obviously, all those years of being a salesperson obviously paid off. But I do also think he genuinely is trying to help the people get out of this rut that we're about to go into. And yes, we are going into a rut. I think we're already in a recession. They're just not going to say we are. And the second episode, I think, is very important. I think is the most important episode. Like I said, he was talking about the 5 traits that you need to become a new Renaissance man. Knowledge. Here, I'll give you an overview on, a more broad explanation. Knowledge, specifically knowledge from the people that you want to become. Let's say you want to become an entrepreneur. You can't take advice from a professor in college who's never even had a business before, or has had a business but just failed. So you can't really take advice from him. You got to take advice from a successful businessman. 2 is actually having a business. Just go watch his old course. He deleted all the videos in July, but people probably re-uploaded them somewhere. Just search up Iman Gadzhi. I forgot the name. Iman Gadzhi July event. I forgot what it was called, but it was called something. I'll put it up somewhere if I can find it. Just search it up. You should find all 4 episodes in there. Re-upload it, obviously. A community, I think, is very important. having good people around you and like-minded people are really, really helpful. And I think the quote, you are the average of 5 people you spend the most time with, is probably the most realist quote you will ever hear in your entire life. If you're surrounded by people who are winners, if you're surrounded by people who always tell you or will tell each other how they make money or how big they've gone from going to the gym, you will eventually feel like a loser. If you're the outlier in the group, you will eventually start a business. You will eventually find some way to make money so you can feel included in the friendship. So I think a community is very important. Accountability, also important, because when you do get some level of success, you do tend to get blinded by your ego or your success. So you just need someone to tell you to chill out, shut the fuck up, and just keep doing what you're doing. And 5, self-improvement. I think self-improvement is just good in general, whether it comes to this event or not. I think self-improvement is just very important. Self-improvement pretty much goes all into the is pretty much involved with the rest of the 4 things I just mentioned. You basically need all of those things to be considered a person on self-improvement or someone who's trying to improve themselves and become the best man they can be. That's really it. I think that's what the truth behind Iman Gadzhi's digital renaissance is. I think it's just a big marketing technique. I knew like 80% of this information. I already knew most of this stuff. And I think he just said this just as more of a reminder, just to keep your eyes open. And so this course, of course, I wouldn't be surprised if he made an extra 100,000 in that day just from people coming in, because he did do a discount from what I remember. That's really it. I love Iman Gadzhi. I think what he's doing is really great. I think he does care about the people. I think he does care about men. I think he does care about helping people out, men out specifically. I really do think he does care. And I do look up to him. Obviously, I'm doing what he told me to do. Get yourself a service-based business. I just started up not long ago. Finally, yeah, I'll get into that different time, but I know I can do it. I think I got a very good chance. My mindset is fucking incredible. I can do anything I want that if I put my mind to. Like, actually, I'm not gonna get into this fucking stupid rant, but yeah, I think Iman Gadzhi is a really good person, and I would love to meet him one day. But I think personally, it's just a marketing scheme, it's digital renaissance. If I'm wrong, I guess I'm wrong. But I think that's really it. Have a great one, y'all. Be true. Be true to yourself. Love yourself. And always, man, keep your head up. Even. Actually, let me think of it. Hmm.